Live from the election zone, here's Nadine Habib.
Hello and welcome to our show. I'm Nadine Habib and this is Rye Votes, a 2-hour election special broadcasting live from our studios here at Ryerson University in beautiful downtown Toronto. We'll be staying with you throughout the evening as polls close across the country, keeping you updated on local results. It's been the longest federal campaign Canada has seen since the 19th century, and it could bring historic change. So far, the Liberals have an early lead based on results from Atlantic Canada. Our reporters Kaya Berkeley, Angus Mulroney, Kira Wakim, and Adina Ali are currently in the field. They'll be bringing you local results as they happen. I will also be with you all night to call the election. Coming up, Peter Goffin joins me to lead our panel discussion on the campaign. We have results in from Halifax. Let's take a look at the national results. As you can see, Andy Fillmore of the Liberals has taken the Halifax riding with 6,176 votes. Megan Leslie was the popular figure in the NDP, and as you can see, she lost to Andy Fillmore. Now, we're going to check in with our reporter Victoria Chan in the newsroom. She'll be keeping us informed as local results come in throughout the evening. Victoria?
Thanks, Nadine. I'm Victoria Chan, and tonight I'll be giving you live updates on election poll results for 4 local ridings that we are covering. They include University Rosedale, Spadina Fort York, Toronto Danforth, and of course our very own Toronto Centre. I'll also be giving you some background information on each of these ridings as well as the candidates that are running. Stay tuned with us because as the votes start to come in, I'll also be updating you on the overall seats for the Toronto and for the 905 area. So stay tuned for that. Back to you in the studio, Nadine.
Correction from the Halifax riding. Andy Fillmore is leading, not winning, but leading. So joining me now from the riding of Toronto Centre is reporter Kaya Berkeley. She's live at Liberal candidate Bill Morneau's election party. Kaya, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hi, so what's the situation in this riding?
Do you ask what the situation is?
Yes.
In the riding? Sorry, I can't quite hear you.
Oh, okay. I'm saying, what's the situation like in the riding? Were you at the Liberal candidate party?
Yeah, so we definitely know in this riding it's probably not going to be the Conservative who's going to win. But for Toronto Centre, there's no incumbent, so it really could go either way. It could go Liberal, could go NDP tonight. When the ridings were redistricted in 2012, Rosedale was taken out of Toronto Centre, and that's an affluent neighborhood that would normally go Liberal. So it's really a toss-up tonight. We're really excited to find out whether it's going to go Liberal or NDP.
Great. And what's the mood like at the riding right now?
Yeah, so it hasn't filled up yet. It's pretty sparse. We hear that maybe because of the Jays games going on. But people are really excited. We're watching the results come in as the Liberals take ridings out east, and there's a lot of excitement going on about that. And we're anticipating there might be a visit from the Premier a little later on. So that would be exciting too.
Wow, okay, so I guess we'll tune in with you later today or to see what, if there's going to be more people maybe arriving from the Jays game.
Yeah, we'll definitely keep you updated as the night progresses.
Thank you so much, Kaya.
All right, thanks.
We look forward to the more updates throughout the evening. Now, heading back down to the newsroom, Alicia Gretkowska is tackling the big election issues for us tonight. First up, Syrian refugees. Alicia?
Thanks, Nadine. The first topic up for discussion this election was the Syrian refugee crisis. Let's take a look at media coverage of the issue. People from Syria have been leaving the country since 2011 when the civil war broke out. The plight of refugees has been documented sporadically in media as the refugees made their way into European countries. This past September, images of Alan Kurdi, a 3-year-old Syrian boy whose drowned body was found on a beach in Turkey, surfaced on the internet. World leaders reinvigorated their discussions on refugee policies. Canada became the center of attention when Kurdi's father claimed that the government rejected his application for asylum. However, Citizenship and Immigration Canada say that they did not receive such an application. Prime Minister Stephen Harper said at a campaign event in early September that this government is committed to acting, committed to bringing more people in, committed to expediting the process. He added, "We are talking about a terrorist war zone a lot of people are coming from. We will make sure we are also protecting Canadians from the security risks." In the Conservatives' platform, the party states that they plan to resettle 10,000 refugees by next September. They have also pledged to match individual donations to the Syria Emergency Relief Fund up to $100 million. But Lifeline Syria says that the Harper government pledged to take in 1,300 Syrian refugees by the end of 2014, and it took until March of this year to meet that goal. Other parties have more ambitious goals. The NDP would admit 10,000 refugees by the end of this year and 9,000 more every following year. Justin Trudeau's Liberals would immediately work to accept 25,000 refugees. And the Green Party has similar goals, stating that we should ramp up the number of refugees welcomed to Canada to 25,000, and we must do more to end the conflict, including living up to our commitments to the UN High Commission for Refugees. According to Lifeline Syria's plan of action, the target over 2 years could be 100,000 refugees, clearly well below the numbers being admitted to Europe, let alone those languishing in Jordan, Lebanon, and Turkey. But refugees are not the only issue up for debate in Canada's foreign policy. You can see all our election coverage as well as a breakdown of party platforms on our election zone on our website. And for all the students watching, stay tuned for the next topic up for debate, student fees and debt. Back to you, Nadine.
Thanks, Alicia. And joining me now on the phone is reporter Angus Mulroney at the Centre for Social Innovation in Toronto's University Rosedale. NDP candidate Jennifer Hollett is waiting for the numbers to come in for Toronto's University Rosedale riding. Hi, Angus.
Hi, Nadine.
So this is a new riding in Toronto. What has that been like?
Yes, it's interesting. This is a new riding in Toronto, which was made from portions of two ridings, which were Toronto Centre and Trinity Spadina. What's interesting about this particular riding is that the portion of it, which was from Trinity Spadina, voted very heavily NDP in the last election, and the portion that is Rosedale voted very heavily for the Liberals. So it's going to be a close race, all sources can tell, between Chrystia Freeland from the Liberal Party and Jennifer Hollett from the NDP. Now, the atmosphere in the area that I am in right now is a little bit quiet. Things have yet to sort of kick off, but I am sure it's going to pick up.
So how did the campaign play out so far? I mean, it doesn't look like there's many people, but it looks like it's a very competitive riding.
Yes, that's correct. There are a lot of people in the Annex neighborhood who have a lot of Jennifer Hollett signs everywhere, but in Rosedale there are all sorts of Chrystia Freeland signs. So it is really a clash of the titans. It's probably going to be a very close race, but it's still a little bit too early to tell exactly how it's going to play out.
All right. Thanks so much, Angus. We'll check in with you again later tonight.
Thank you.
Local polls here in Toronto are set to close in less than half an hour. So let's return to the newsroom and join our reporter Victoria Chan for more information on Ryerson's surrounding ridings. Victoria?
Thanks, Nadine. Now, it's still early on in the night, and we're waiting for local poll results to come in. In the meantime, I'll be giving you some background information on 4 of our local ridings, the first of which is University Rosedale. So a bit of info about it. University Rosedale is one of the 11 new ridings created by the 2012 federal electoral boundary redistribution. It includes neighborhoods like the Annex, Yorkville, and Palmerston, Little Italy. According to the National Household Survey, it has the third largest average income in the country, so it's quite a wealthy district. This new riding has parts of Toronto Centre and Trinity Spadina. The Toronto Centre portion has elected Liberal MPs since 1997, and the Trinity Spadina portion was previously represented by NDP MP Olivia Chow. And since 2014, it's been held by Liberal MP Adam Vaughan. So many are saying this could be a two-way race between Jennifer Hollett and Chrystia Freeland. A research forum poll recently from 3 weeks ago showed that the two of them were very close. 39% of voters surveyed said they were going to vote for Jennifer Hollett. 38% said they'd vote for Chrystia Freeland. So I'll be giving you more updates on this throughout the night. Back to you in the studio, Nadine.
Thanks, Victoria. We're looking forward to seeing what's in store for later tonight. One of the most contested ridings this election is Toronto's Spadina-Fort York. That's where NDP candidate Olivia Chow is facing off against Liberal Adam Vaughan. Our reporter Kira Wakib is staking out Olivia Chow's election party at the Garrison tonight. Hi, Kira. You're on the phone now.
Hi, Nadine.
So can you tell us what's happening at the Chow headquarters right now?
So people are just starting to trickle in, but it looks like it's going to be a packed house. People are coming in little by little, but it's a pretty small venue and it's pretty full already. So I have a feeling it's going to be packed to the gills here. People look excited. Media's here. We've got some food. People are having drinks. It looks like it's going to be a pretty fun night here at Chow headquarters, regardless of which way it goes.
Wow, that sounds very interesting. You're going to have a good time. But can you tell us a little more about the race in your riding?
So it's a pretty tight race. Both Vaughan and Chow have actually been MPs for this riding before. Chow stepped down in 2014 to run for mayor in Toronto, and Adam Vaughan won her seat in a by-election. He swept the by-election, and people really like him. They're both very liberal, both prioritize transit and other affordable housing and childcare. So, things that urban voters really care about. So
Thanks,
it's going to be a pretty tight race.
That sounds great, Kara. We're excited to see how things turn out.
Great. I can't wait to talk to you. Have fun.
Thanks. Now let's change gears and check in with our election night panel of experts. Peter Goffin is leading tonight's discussion. Peter, who do you have with you tonight?
Thanks, Nadine. Joining me today are journalism students Greg Hanna, Jacqueline Tucci, and PhD Policy Studies candidate Sean Hillier. Thank you all for being here.
Thanks for having us.
So I want to start off by asking each of you, what are your predictions for the night? Who do you think will win? Will we see a majority? And what are some storylines that we all should be watching?
Are any of us going to disagree here? Maybe the only disagreement could be if it's going to be a minority or a majority. One or the other, for the Liberals.
Yeah, I think it's maybe still a bit early to call that, to predict that it'll be a majority government for the Liberals. But obviously, if you're Justin Trudeau and the Liberals, you're very happy so far. So I'm still predicting a strong minority government for the Liberals. But yeah, as Greg said, it could go either way at this point.
Yeah, we were discussing this earlier, and I think that that we need to really look at a very strong minority government for the Liberals if we don't get into majority territory at this point. They're currently sweeping across Atlantic Canada, which many people weren't expecting, and so I think that they're the party to watch tonight.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned Atlantic Canada has so far been a Liberal sweep, or looking like it will be a Liberal sweep. Any other regions across Canada that we could see any surprise turn of events in?
Well, I think we're going to be traditionally looking at the GTA area right now. I think is going to be the predictor on where this goes tonight. Quebec is quite interesting. I don't think we quite expected to see as many Liberal ridings go that way, and I think we may see that transform into Quebec as well. So that will be the next kind of telltale sign on how things are going to go tonight.
Yeah, certainly. We all have to remember that I think there's like 1/3 of the seats are in Ontario. So when we start getting the polls in for Ontario, it's going to give us a very good indication, especially in some more conservative ridings, like Vaughan, for example, or perhaps where Joe Oliver is even. That's another contested one. And it'll be very interesting to watch Olivia Chow and Adam Vaughan here in Toronto. That'll be a very interesting race.
Yeah, and I think what's important to note here is that the Conservatives have lost some big hitters tonight already out on the East Coast, and so they've already lost their Minister of Aboriginal Affairs, which I think is a very telling sign on getting the Indigenous vote out and how people are feeling about the way this government has treated Indigenous people across this country.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very sorry we'll have to cut you off there, but we will be checking in with the panel a few more times tonight, and as election results come in, we will have the latest on discussions of results and further predictions. Nadine, looking forward to talking to you further. Back to you.
Thanks, Peter. I look forward to hearing more from the analysis from the panel later tonight. Now, Eglinton Lawrence has been another hotly contested riding this election. It's the home riding of Conservative Finance Minister Joe Oliver. Reporter Adina Ali is at the Toronto Cricket, Skating and Curling Club awaiting for Joe Oliver and his team to arrive. Adina, how are you there?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm great. So can you give our viewers some background on Joe Oliver as a candidate?
Absolutely. So Joe Oliver is the incumbent in this riding that's hoping to hold on to his position. In addition to that, he's been Canada's Minister of Finance since 2014. The results of this election will be an interesting and exciting one. Mr. Oliver was born and raised in Montreal and began his career as an investment banker with Merrill Lynch. He later became the executive director of the Ontario Securities Commission and was also named the CEO of the Investment Dealers Association of Canada. He transitioned into politics in 2011 and has been representing the Eglinton Lawrence riding ever since. He also served in the Canadian Cabinet as Minister of Natural Resources.
Okay, wow, he sounds very successful. So what's the atmosphere like over there?
It's pretty peaceful right now. We've got the Jays game going on in the background, so everyone's kind of glued to that. We've also got a live curling match going on over here, so people are kind of focused on the curling, focused on the Jays game, and we're just waiting for Joe Oliver to arrive.
Wow, sounds like a very heavy, sport-heavy area.
Definitely. Yeah. It is a skating and curling and cricket club after all.
Very true. Thank you so much, Adina. We're looking forward to seeing what happens.
All right, thank you, Nadine.
Thank you. So in 2015, elections don't look quite the same as they may have 20 years ago. A candidate's social media strengths or blunders now play a major role in their campaign. Yasmin Mataran and Alicia Birdie are keeping us updated on social media from the Trending Desk. Yasmin and Alicia, what can you tell us about how hashtags were used for this election?
Thanks, Nadine. I'm Alicia Birdie.
And I'm Yasmin Maturin.
Tonight we are bringing you social media updates as well as highlights of how the leading candidates performed on social media during this year's federal election.
We're going to be following the trending hashtags RyeVotes and ELXN42.
Taking a look back, hashtag Generation Trudeau was quite often used by the Liberals, while NDP used the hashtag NDP Truth Team. It was interesting to see how the NDP used the hashtag Ready for Change, while the Liberals used the hashtag Real Change.
Meanwhile, the Conservatives were not very creative with their hashtags this election. They kept it simple with hashtags ELXN42 and hashtag CDNPoly.
Let's take a look at the leading candidates' most recent and notable Twitter moments.
Justin Trudeau tweeted, his most notable tweet was, "Today was my father's birthday. I think of him every day and will always cherish the values he instilled in me."
Now we're going to take a look at Stephen Harper's most memorable tweet. Stephen Harper tweeted to Justin Trudeau and Thomas Mulcair. He said, "I think we can all agree to watch the Blue Jays from the safety of the campaign buses. Hashtag goes Jays go, hashtag come together."
And lastly, Tom Mulcair's top tweet was, "Making the right choices so we can improve healthcare and grow the economy is one vote away. Hashtag I'm voting NDP."
To join in on the election conversation, please follow @the Ryersonian on Twitter and use the hashtag RyeVotes.
We'll be back soon. Back to you.
Thanks, Yasmin and Alicia. Now we're going to turn to some national coverage of the election. As you can see, we're going to bring up our national boards. And you can see that Andy Fillmore in Halifax now has more than 12,000 votes and is clearly winning in that riding and leading in Halifax. And then in Madawaska-Restigouche, there is Renee Arsenault, who is leading with 7,000 votes. And our current seat count, which is for the Conservatives 0, NDP 0, and Liberals 33, leading with 33 for a total of 32. And now it's time for a short break. In the meantime, stay with us on Twitter by following the hashtag RyeVotes. Join me back here in 5 minutes to get all the latest updates on the 2015 federal election.